Y'all didn't have anything better to do on a Tuesday night? Thank you very much. Thank you. This is a good night, and I'm grateful for all of you that are here. Let me say this, I guess, from the beginning, because there's somebody that isn't here tonight, and we very much miss her. But there's two things that I need to be able to say to the people of Alabama for Faith and I. Number one is that we embrace that God is good and God is sovereign, and that Scripture teaches us that God can make things good for those who love Him and who are called for His purpose. And we have embraced that as a family. But the one thing that I know that over the last 4 months is the people of Alabama have stood up for me, and they have stood up for Faith, and they have supported us, and they have prayed for us, and they have lifted us up. And y'all, tonight, my obligation is to be able to give back to the people of Alabama and stand with them, and that's exactly what we're going to do. You know, there are some that were critics, and by the way, we invited them too tonight. They always called me the appointed Attorney General. They can't do that anymore. Because tonight's vote affirmed the work that we've done and the things that we've been able to accomplish in 20 months. And y'all, I look forward to what we're going to be able to do in the future. There's a lot of thanks that I need to be able to offer tonight. The first of which are to the people that are standing behind me and that are also in front of me, and that's my family. Y'all, they have been with me. They have supported me, and they have encouraged me in the most difficult times. And my rock has been a young lady that last time was last name Marshall when we were here, but now is known as Simmons, and that's my daughter Faith, a beautiful young lady with a wonderful heart. And I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you, honey. I also could tell you that I am grateful for those from whom I've had a chance to work on the prosecution side. And that's the district attorneys and law enforcement throughout this state, because they stood with me, and they believed in me, and they understood what we could do, and I'm grateful for their support. I got asked earlier about the fact that I've always been unopposed and have never had a legitimate campaign. Well, I can tell you that I believe I had the best team that anybody could find. Heath Garrett was a wonderful partner strategically. John Jones was my rock as a campaign manager. I had Liz Williams do everything that we needed to do to be able to fund this campaign. Ashley Newman to be able to keep us completely in line with the law. Ted Hosp is a wonderful lawyer. And a grassroots staff of Marty Stokes and Bradley Cox and Sarah Hogan. And those that have worked for us every day to be able to share a vision in this place. Y'all, I couldn't have done it without them, and I know that they brought me to the finish line tonight. And I got some folks that came on a bus, in a van, some on a plane from Marshall County. Yeah. And y'all, you believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And those people that are here from my home, I want to tell you how much it means to me, the fact that you are here. At some point I'm coming home, not for 4 years. Not for 4 years, but I'm coming home. But the fact that you honored me, you honored Faith, and you honored Bridget being here tonight, I'm grateful for the fact that you have been able to celebrate, and we're going to celebrate later, in what it is that we've been able to accomplish. Y'all, it has truly been a ride for the last 20 months. Because I walked into the office in February of 2017 with really two goals. One of which was to make sure that we led an office of attorneys that I'm extremely proud of, to make sure that the people of Alabama knew that they truly were the people's law firm. And y'all, I could not ask for a better group of lawyers who have embraced a vision that we had for this office and that have gone to work for the people of Alabama every day. And I know many of y'all are back there in the corner. Know how much I appreciate what you do, what you've done. But let me tell you this, we got a lot more to go. And we're going to get there together, and we're going to do it in a way that make the people of Alabama proud. But I can also tell you, thank you. I that I am keenly aware that when I stepped into this role, that I had to obtain the trust of the people of Alabama. They didn't necessarily know me. They understood that I had the appointment. But the question was whether or not they were going to be able to trust me as their Attorney General. And y'all, one of the first things that I did when I got into office was to worship at Dexter Avenue Memorial Baptist Church. And there, and from that day, and that welcome I received at that church, I spent all afternoon reading some of Martin Luther King's sermons, listening to his speeches, but most importantly, reading a letter that he wrote when he was housed in the Birmingham jail, where in that capacity, not only did he talk about the bad things that were going on, but he challenged those in that community to be a voice to stand up when they saw injustice and they saw wrong. And I clearly knew that my role as Attorney General was to be that voice. That's why we got involved in the issue of opioids, because it was a scourge in this state as it is in our country, and we had no plan, and we became the voice of the people who needed help. That we also saw that we had a violent crime rate that was rising, but yet many times victims didn't feel like they had a voice. We stood up and were the voice for those victims. We had human trafficking that was going on in this state, and we didn't talk about it very much. And we have gathered people together to make sure that not only do we know how to investigate, but also to prosecute those cases, and we were the voice for those victims. And when Alabama needed somebody to fight, we were the voice of someone who would stand with them and fight for the things that matter. And what this election means, y'all, is the people of Alabama now trust me. And I am grateful for that belief in what it is that we've done, but I also know it is incumbent upon me to continue that going forward. Because I know this, although we got, 60+% of the vote right now, there are people in the state that didn't vote for me, but I'm their AG too. And so there are parts of the state where I probably didn't do very well in an election, but I can tell you that we will deal with those proximities and those geographic areas of this state just as we have any other part that voted for us. And we'll continue to be invested, for example, in the Black Belt, where we have to deal with issues of violent crime, and we've been successful. And we have people that are sitting in jail right now because of the work that we've been able to do. And I think we're uniquely positioned to be able to accomplish some things because we have things that have come together that are truly different than what we've seen in the past. Number one, I'm working with a governor right now that is not my rival. She's not my enemy, but she's my friend and she's my partner. And you've already seen how collectively together we've been able to work on issues like right now what we're dealing with the Board of Pardon and Paroles. Because not only is she my friend, but she's somebody I respect and admire, and she believes in us just like I believe in her. You know, it's interesting, thank you. That the Attorney General is known as the chief law enforcement officer in the state, but yet we hadn't seen too many prosecutors rolling through this job. And for 20 years, I've had the ability to be the voice of victims in law enforcement. And now, being the top cop in Alabama, we have a prosecutor who understands the needs of law enforcement, who understands the needs of prosecutors, and can stand for victims. And we'll bring that to bear every day in our job. And going forward, we have unprecedented relationships with our friends on the federal side of the House. Jeff Sessions has been remarkable advocate for us, and we've appreciated that relationship with him. I can call Jay Town because I know him as a good friend. Louis Franklin is a good friend. Richard Moore, who I've had a chance to get to know better. And we've already seen collectively and collaboratively how we've made differences in community because we've worked together, not caring who gets the credit. And we're going to continue that going forward because the people of Alabama deserve it and they demand it, and we will respond in that way. Y'all, tomorrow, I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to be at a parole hearing for the loss of my friend Verlin Lee Masters, Chief of Police in Grant, Alabama. And we're going to make sure that we hold that offender in jail that committed his murder. It's the worst day of my professional life. And it's important for me to be there tomorrow because that's the start of where we're going forward. The issues that we've been talking about on this campaign trail were not simply something to give in the nature of rhetoric, but instead were responsibilities that we have going forward to be able to make a difference, and we're going to continue to do that, and I'm grateful for it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the fact that you are all here tonight to support us, because it matters. And the fact that you believe in me allows me to understand that I have the ability to do wonderful things for this state with the people that I have a chance to work with and those that hold other offices. we have the ability to make Alabama a better place, and I'm committed to do that. Now, I will also share this, and then I'll close. My heart hurts tonight because Bridget is not here. But just as when Faith got married, we wanted to honor Bridget's life and her presence there, I want to be able to do that tonight as well. It was interesting, in a couple of stories that I saw written about me as a candidate, they noticed that I was wearing a band on my arm that said "Out of the Darkness," to be able to share and to deal with the issue of suicide and the stigma associated with it. And, I was given that bracelet by a woman who came up to me, who was also, and she's described as a suicide survivor, who said, "I saw your press conference, and you said the things that we always wish we'd have been able to say." And I realized then that I have a responsibility going forward to make sure that we shine the light on that issue. And so tonight, this bracelet that I wear, we've got some that are here, if you're interested. And I would encourage you, if you would do it, just take one with you and wear it tomorrow. And hopefully somebody will ask you about it. And if they ask you about it, you can share that there are resources and there are things that are available for families and those who suffer from some of the very same issues that Bridget suffered from. Because the last thing that we want is somebody to suffer the tragedy that we had and to feel the loss that we still have in our family. I can honor Bridget by celebrating her life and helping others by making sure that we spread the word that families can get help. Because I will tell you, I've had more hugs over the last 4 months than I've ever had in my life. That people who have shared very real stories of their own families. And I know that this is an issue where we're going to be able to make a difference. Y'all, thank you individually and collectively for your support. Because of you, I'm here tonight. I'm going to be around for the next 4 years, and we're going to have an awful lot of fun, lawyers, because we're going to be able to do some really good things. And y'all, I'm grateful for the opportunity you're giving me to impact the lives of people in this state, and we're going to stand up for them going forward. God bless each of you. God bless the state of Alabama, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.